Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Whyte Chronicles. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to exploring the world with us, our travels, and our experiences. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the show.
And so that's the same for me too. Um, as I shared earlier, I just love to write from a child all the way into my adulthood. And so my parents always encouraged me to write. And it was my mom that said, publish it. Publish it. You need to share your writing with the world. And that's what I did. And mine grew from there. And so with that being said, a lot in this book, um, it's about life itself, growing up, relationships, and it has my mom in there because everybody can relate. It also has my grandma in there because everybody can relate. The things that they taught us that we carry to this day can relate. And so, because of my love for writing, I teach writing. And so, one of the things that I do as a business owner is I help people write their stories. When I say write, I'm talking about organization and structure. And I also do some editing, but that's on the back end because I'm still working full time. And so when I teach writing, one of the tips that I give people is to just write. It doesn't matter what order it comes in. You can order it later into the chapters and sections that you write. The most important thing is that you get your story written. And so I always encourage you to have a notebook. I still to this day, and I got that from my mom. I always have the notebook. I have my inspirational next to my nightstand, right by my bed. My hubby will tell you. And so I never thought I'd be doing some of those things that my mom did, but I do. And then I also teach that. And so it's my path is different. And so when my husband reads my books, and because I can edit, I only get a second pair of eyes because we're taught to get a second pair of eyes before you put anything out to make sure that it's grammatically correct. And so I do have an editor, someone that I work with that can proof my books before it goes out. And I'm just gonna be honest, if you wanted me to edit your book, I have minimal errors because I have an editor that does that has told me each time I've written a book, you have minimal errors because that's my gift. It's what I do. And so in teaching writing, going back to just writing your story, I had, just to tell a story, my hairdresser, she was like, I need to write my story. I need to write my story. She's like, where do I start? And I said, you start by just writing whatever comes to mind. And she was like, but what about the order? What about the chapters? What about the sequencing of my writing? I said, don't worry about that. When I wrote this book, I just wrote the topic of each poem in the book, and then I ordered it after, right before printing it. So each of these poems were not written in the order in which you would see in my book. They weren't written that way. And so that's why I encourage and also teach people just to write whatever comes to mind. Now with all the modern technology, I tell them that they can use the Microsoft dictation microphone, and all you have to do is say capital letter, the sentence, and period at the end. So if you're not a typer, it can record all of your writing. I've tested it out, so it's phenomenal. But I haven't written a book using it. I've just tried it out to give people alternatives when teaching writing, the structure and the organization of it, to do it. And so with that being said, a lot of my students are published authors because I'm a published author. And so with that being said, they have started off on their love for writing because they never thought that they could be published. And so these are the things that I share with my customers, my clients, and also with my students and my parents. The people that read my book, I've already said my husband and my parents. My parents love my writing.
You have family that reads your writing.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
yes,
That's
yes.
a rare one right here.
And not only that, they'll give it to somebody. Oh, this is my daughter. You have to read this. And so I do have loyal customers that have bought every single one of my books. And they're asking, when is the next one coming out? So just I know you didn't ask this, but just as another tip, I do the emails, the messaging. That's we're living in a technology world, and so that's what I use. So when you go to my website, you can sign up for our email. You'll get the first notification. So they'll email, when's the next book? And I'm like, okay, I need to start putting out the fillers for the next book that's coming out because they're ready. They thought that they had missed the book because of the title of Confusion. I had one of my customers text me and be like, did I miss one of your books?
No,
because it says, Confusion and Pop Goes My Heart. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they thought that I had wrote another book that was Pop Goes My Heart. And I was like, no, you did not miss it. I always send out the messaging, the marketing beforehand. That's another tip. Pre-selling and so forth. That's another tip. I'm gonna stop there because you're gonna get to it. So, thank you.
Do you guys, anybody else have any advice on how you guys got reviews for stuff?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, for me, if you buy from my website, you automatically get a link 10 days later to leave a review. And so a lot of my reviews come from there, and they're also on Amazon. And so I only got one bad review on Amazon. But once again, they read my book,
Right.
and all of my books are on Amazon, and they all have good reviews. And so with that being said, I started to pay for reviews, but then I decided that I wanted to put my money elsewhere, where it would actually benefit my writing and me being an author and so forth, doing the panels, paying for the events. I do book events. Every place I go, I give my card. My card is a scan card. You're all gonna get them before you leave. My card is a scan card, so you can just take your phone, scan it, see all of my books, and purchase and leave a review. The reviews are there too. And so all of mine are organic. And because I have repeat customers, you'll see that some of the same customers that purchased each one of my books, they've left a review for each one of my books. And so, to be honest, it's difficult to get organic reviews. It is, without considering paying for them. But just meeting everybody at the different events, handing out your cards, however you do it, I do scan. You just pull out your phone. I'm right there. My books are right there. And so with that being said, we get reviews. We don't get a lot of reviews because of the mere fact that if you go through our website, then it'll automatically prompt you for that review because you purchased through our website. Amazon does the same thing, but if they buy from us, they can also leave the review on Amazon. So that's another way that we do it. So when they get that email for the review, it also asks them to leave a review on Amazon. And because they did purchase the book and it's available on Amazon, Amazon lets them leave the review. And so a lot of people don't know that, but if you have your own website where you're selling your own books and they're also being sold on Amazon, you can leave them there too. My books are on BookBaby, you can leave them there too. My books are on Barnes & Nobles, you can leave them there too. And so as far as getting reviews, it is difficult because you do want honest reviews, you do want organic reviews, and then you want reviews where people that read your reviews would want to buy your books. And so it's difficult, but it's a process. But my key would be to sell your own books through your own website where you can get those reviews and then prompt your buyers, purchasers, to also leave the review on Amazon and leave them on other places that have your books like Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million and so forth. I just want to add this. When she was talking, I did remember one of my inspirations. And so my freshman year at Howard University, Toni Morrison taught our English class. So that is an inspiration to be a writer and to write. You have this icon. This was in 1994, my freshman year, and I am starstruck like. And mind you, she had perfect, I would bet my life on it, she had perfect attendance. Like, nobody was late for her class. She never had a problem with getting up an assignment. I would bet my life on it. Her classes were packed. And so I was just like, wow, I go to Howard University in my freshman year in 1994. Toni Morrison is teaching English. It's fantastic. Inspiration within itself.